Alright, you guys, welcome to this next assignment. So we got some physical properties going on here, which we've seen already, especially with that Block Mario stuff. But there's some new stuff for us. So you got layers. Now remember, the higher number, the more in front it is. So lower numbers are going to be behind. So which means the floor here is showing in front of, is there layer one? Yeah, the sloped ground, I guess. And the boxes don't look like they're, or the slider. Yeah, those don't have layers. Okay. But again, just how do you want this to appear? This, again, layer one is going to be behind layer two. Let's see, something else that's new for us is friction. Okay, so we got friction on the floor and we got friction on the slope. And 3 seems pretty high, and up here, this looks pretty good. So we have a floor friction that's at 0.5 or 5/100ths. And then down below, we have a slope friction that's 3, which again, I think that's pretty high. And what we want to do is, so if you were to run this program right now, I think what's going to happen is the slider kind of drops from, I guess, the sky, and it'll hit the slope, and it's not really going to slide down. It's going to start rolling because there's so much friction. So just so we know, friction is, it's kind of like the force that stops or resists sliding or rolling of something against another. Okay, so it's like you take your hands together and you rub them together like this, then that's friction between your hands. Okay, so as two things rub together, they're going to, one will slow down the other. Or like we've seen before as well, it can also cause heat. In any case, with this information, what we want to do is make it so that in this case, the slider slides nicely down the slope. Eventually, it will hit the big box after sliding a little bit on the floor, because the location of the big box is just a little bit to the right on the floor after the slope. So to do this, there's a couple things we can do, but this is what I did. And again, this is all we need to do for credit, is I would change let's go to the slope friction, and I just made it match and I'll put a note here, it's originally 3, at least on mine it was, and I just made it match the floor friction, because if you saw it hit the floor, which I don't know if you did, but if you did, you'll see that it slides very nicely on the floor, so I just made it slide very nicely on the slope. If I remember right, even 0 works right there pretty good. Now the next problem that we have is, so run this program, right? We just changed this line of code to 0.05, and what you'll find is that the slider now comes in contact with the big box. And it's not actually moving the big box. And why is that? Well, the slider, you can see right here, it has a mass of 5, whereas the big box has a mass of 20. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the big box mass and lower this to, I'm going to put it at 1. And now if you were to run this program, that slider box is going to hit the slope, it's going to slide down the slope, it's going to slide a little bit on the floor before it hits the big box, pushing it out of the screen, and then also the slider goes out of the screen as well. So this is all we really need for this assignment, and I'm going to leave it there as well. Here is the code that we used. Of course, there's a little bit more code down here, but we didn't change any of that stuff. Really, the only things we changed, I guess I should have put a note on there, didn't I? Yeah, the big box mass we changed. It was originally, I think it was 20. Either way, we changed those, and those were the only 2 things we needed to change. Thanks for watching, you guys.